Eventsquid, software that thinks like you and works like 8 of you.
Hey everybody, it's Michael from Eventsquid. In this video, we're going to learn how to take a plain Jane version of the event website you create in our system to make it one that pops, one that's a little more spiffy, a little more special. Now, it's never going to be like a custom website or something you could build on Squarespace or WordPress. And if you want to do that, you always can, and you can link directly from those websites to your registration page. But for those of you who are concerned with building efficient but really professional and attractive looking websites in our system, I will give you some tips and tricks to make it so. Let's look. When you first create a website in Eventsquid, you get some basics. You get a title bar. If you've uploaded a logo, you get that, but if you haven't, there'll be nothing there. You get a description box, when, where, and maybe other events we're hosting. But it's pretty boring. So the goal here is to show you how to turn it into something a little more colorful and a little more polished. Something with a background image, something with coordinated button colors, and perhaps video on the home page. In addition, a summary agenda, maybe featured speakers, maybe sponsors, and maybe some custom buttons over here on the left, like I have with selected shots of this piece of real estate, and this allows you to spice up your website. So how do you do all of this? Well, the good news is it's not that hard. And we will take a look inside the event builder at the tools that enable you to enhance your website. We click on website in the event builder and go to logo and banner. You've probably already seen this, but I want you to see the following. When you upload a banner, it can be any height you want, and you can adjust what part of that banner displays to the user by just dragging this bottom border. And further, you can go on the website and drag it around and reposition it. But this is generally how you set how tall the banner is going to be on the home page. I don't have any particular recommendations about how tall you should make yours. It really depends on your graphic. So those are easy cosmetics. Then I'm going to skip over to website background because a lot of people simply forget this. And I think the background is really important. The correct background can make the foreground pop out and also give you a polished look. You can upload an image to use as your background image like I have here, or you can choose a stock background. The other thing you can do is change the opacity of the background, the blur, and the grayscale. So I'm going to change the opacity of this background to 40%. I'm going to blur it out by 2 pixels, and then I'm going to make it 90% grayscale. And then I'll go back by clicking the eyeball. And now you can see that this is just a completely different feel. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just a different feel. And it all depends on what you like, but the ability to make those changes right here very easily can really bring about some significant changes to the appearance of your background. Now, I like to mute a little bit the colors so that they're not overwhelming the actual website. And so these are slightly muted, and it allows the foreground image to pop. How do we adjust the colors? Very simply this. When you open up a color tile, there will be what's called a hex code, hexadecimal. It is 6 characters, and that will identify the color. And that allows you to copy and paste this into the other blocks where you want to match colors. So mess around with your colors here. I'm not going to spend any more time on this because it's self-explanatory. These labels here, myself, someone else, etc., those are adjusted under display options, and that's where we're going next. So in the display options, you can choose the modern design or the classic design. But let's see what this site looks like in classic design. So in classic design, we've got a menu here. You can make these buttons show or hide on default. And I think it's a little more stilted. I don't really care for the squares, and I just don't think it's modern. So here, we'll go back to modern, and let's go to top bar icons. Let's look at this again. So now I've got just the call me icon activated. That's because I've hidden the save to calendar, the link to this, email share, Facebook share, and Twitter share icons. And now if I open those up and I open the share, you'll see I've got Facebook, Twitter, and email. I've got link to this, and I've got save to calendar along with the contact me. So you can have any combination of these icons at the top of the page. Now the content panels. Remember that left navigation. You can collapse it by default. If I don't collapse it, it's just open. And in many ways, this is better than collapsed. Why? Because the ultimate goal of your registration page is to get people to click on the register button. And anything you can do to highlight where information is in order for them to decide to register is a good thing and not a bad thing. But if you're constrained aesthetically, you can collapse it. The title block, I'm going to unhide that one. So sometimes this is good and sometimes it's not good. If you have an attractive logo and your banner doesn't have the logo in it, throw the title bar in there. It shows the name of the event, who's hosting it, and when it is. So it is informative. I prefer to have my banner contain all of that information, so I usually hide the title block. You can hide the dates and times panel. I wouldn't do that. You can hide the map panel. I wouldn't do that. We have some central registration buttons. Those occur in the classic design, so we won't even look at that. We have a featured sponsor panel, and here attendee items. This one's the most important one for you to know about. And here's what happens when the attendee items are shown. All of your registration items are revealed, along with how many spaces are left, the cost, and this can be useful depending on the type of event that you have. And if you took your time and you color-coded your groups when you set up your items, that also can add to the attractiveness of that section. We have a discount panel. If you're offering a discount, it pops up. That's more of a retail look, and again, I'm not so much of a fan. Here, these are just moderate little display options. I'm not going to go through them, but I will go through the button labels. And here, where you get to the registration page and it says, I want to register myself, someone else, these you can adjust, and you can adjust the pop-up for the contact item, pop-up tile. Finally, if you want to put a video on the home page, all you have to do is put in the Vimeo or YouTube ID and the video will show, and that's all you have to do. And lastly, what goes on the left side? What menu items are you going to see? You can drag, drop, rename, activate, or deactivate your buttons, and that will determine what goes on over here. So with just a few little tweaks, you can change the tone and the feel of your event website to one that's more appealing to your audience. You don't have to use a background image. You can use background color. You can use a pattern. But I strongly suggest that you do use it, and use it here and on the actual registration form. It just makes things pop a little bit better so that, when somebody's registering, they get the nice background. And look at that. The form pops out. This is a clean form as it is. The background image just adds a little polish. So that we'll do it for the tips and tricks. I hope you will try them on your next event or one that is currently set up. You can make these changes whenever you feel like it and enhance the look of your event website. Thanks for listening.
Eventsquid, software that thinks like you and works like 8 of you.